Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is acrylic artist Joni Young, and today I'm going to be showing you step by step how to paint this tropical sunset. We're going to be using neon pink, neon orange, cadmium yellow warm, black, and white. So I'm going to begin with a Filbert brush and the yellow coming in the middle where the sun is going to be. I'm going to fan out slightly and leave the very center of it just white. I'm going to softly blend around, adding some more and then a little bit for the reflection in the water that comes out slightly wider towards the foreground and bottom of the canvas. I'll add a little bit of yellow up in the sky and then pick up some neon orange. I'm going to start pulling it in and blending it slightly into the yellow and leaving patches empty. And then I'll fill that in with some more of the neon pink in a little bit. So the idea is that we want to blend it softly into that yellow. We'll go from the white sun in the center to yellow and then orange, and then we'll have the pink. And when the pink overlaps with the orange and the yellow, it'll create a nice neon red color. I'm going to add it in the water, get as close as I can to that yellow on either side, and slide my brush back and forth in quick, long brush strokes. Now I'm going to go into that neon pink, and I'm going to come in from the edges and blend in slightly to the orange and a little bit of the yellow. But we don't want to cover up that yellow sun. We want that area to stay yellow. So it'll be all around that we blend that orange and pink together. So I'm going to continue to add this color in the sky and down in the water, picking up a scoop of yellow and a scoop of that neon pink together, just so I can change up the tone a little bit. Some areas will have more of an orange glow to it and others will have more of a reddish pink. So just keep sliding the brush side to side, create the effect of water and ripples down there. So now that we've got this color achieved, all these warm tones, I'm going to go into my black, blend it with a little bit of that orange, yellow, and pink. And I'm going to come in from the top and I'm going to scumble. So I'm just going to softly blend this color in, and it's wet on wet, so I'm picking up a little bit of that pink and orange and yellow each time, creating some more tones. It's a nice warm shadow color that we're creating around the edges of the canvas. Creating a vignette kind of helps draw our eyes into the center. Our focal point is that beautiful sun. And then we're gonna work on our horizon down here a little bit. We'll come in with more and more black and build up to that beautiful silhouette, palm tree and little island. Now I'm gonna pick up a scoop of yellow and neon pink and really bring the intensity up. And I don't want to overblend too much at any time, otherwise the whole sky is going to be the same color. So you kind of want to put it on and blend a little bit and then move on to the next area and the next color. So here I am laying in some little mountains or an island way off in the distance, and then I'm going to pull and flick off of the edge of the canvas for shadows and ripples. It'll be darkest on the outer sides on the left and the right, and this will be just a little cloud pulling across the sky. Mix up a little bit more of that black and pink, come in from the left and do the same thing. Pull and flick. Now you can use a flat brush for this. I just really find that the Filbert brush was easy to paint this entire painting with, and I didn't need to change brushes at any time except a little liner brush here and there for a couple of things. So I'm going to keep pulling, and some of these shadows and ripples in the water with the black and the pink are going to be longer, so I'll pull longer lines almost right across. But mainly that dark shadow is going to be on either side, the left and the right. And notice that I'm not pulling right across underneath the sun. We want to leave a little gap right there. And I'm going to add a little bit more paint and make it darker and thicker on the side. And mix a bit of the pink with it too. And I'm just going to add a little bit more shadow in the sky. Now that it's had a few minutes to dry, acrylic paint dries really fast, so I can go over now and add another thin layer. Just kind of dry brush in a bit of that black and pink. And I'm going to pick up more black, yellow, and pink and build this up even stronger in contrast. So always apply that dark color on the edge of the canvas first, where you want most of that color to be. You don't want to start adding that black right kind of in the middle of the sky. And now, after I've washed my brush off, I'm taking light ultramarine blue, cadmium yellow, and a bit of white. This makes for a nice pretty color and some more contrast and complementary colors in the sky. So you really can't go wrong with this color combination in this palette we're using today. You can pretty much add a bit of this blue anywhere you want in the sky and it's going to look pretty. And the reason why I'm adding just a little bit of that yellow is because we've got some red in this painting. Well, we're going to have a lot of red in this painting by the end of it, and green and red are complementary colors. So if I have a bit of blue, that's complementary with the orange, and if I have a little bit of green, it's complementary with the red. So we've got some really nice color combinations going on in this painting. I'll come in with some more black for the edge. And then I'll mix a bit of blue with it and add that in the water as well. Very lightly, barely touching that canvas. Put a little bit more in up on the left, just a tiny bit here over on the right. Get a little bit of yellow there. Brush is clean. Make sure it's absolutely clean for this. When you go back for that yellow, you want it to be really clean, and pull and blend it around into that orange. Add a little bit more of that neon pink. Start building up the color a bit more. So as the paint layers dry in between, you can go back and add another layer of color, and it'll really stand out, as you can see here. Look how pretty that looks over top of the yellow. Add a little bit more of that blue. We'll get a nice balance going on down here in the water. Balance of color and light and shadow. Back to my neon orange, neon pink. So yeah, right there I'm mixing the pink and the orange together. Now a little bit of white with it. Get a few pastel tones going on there in between. Okay, now what I'm going to do is start pulling off some of the paint to create some natural highlights here. So I gently scrub it off with a bit of water on my Filbert brush, and then I wipe the excess paint off on a towel nearby. So this is a really neat and fun technique. Super easy, don't have to use any paint. You're just scumbling a little bit of it off, and just with a bit of water on your brush. But remember, you've got to go back and clean your brush off on a towel. And look how effective that is. And a little bit of white and yellow to this highlight and reflection of the sun in the water to make it really stand out. So I'm going to take a little bit of orange, yellow, and pink and bring some in this area right down here. Put a little bit of white in there and soften it up. A few little pastel hints here and there. And then scumble a little bit of paint off. So sometimes it's nice to do that. You can take that paint off with your brush, or you can add some highlights as well. There's two different ways of doing it. Depends on what color you want your highlights to be too. So here I'm adding a little bit more hints of shadows, using a bit of that blue, green, white, a bit of black, so it has a greenish tinge to it. So I want everything to feel warm in this painting, even the shadows. So you can have a cool colored shadow or warm colored shadows, and I want everything to feel warm. And this yellowy green color that we're making is leaning more towards the warm side. And now I'm coming in with my palm tree. So still using the same brush, black paint, pulling and curving right down to the bottom, and then pulling all these little arches out and palm leaves one at a time, and then flicking right off of each of those lines to create those little palm leaves. Super easy, guys. The Filbert brush is so easy to create palm trees and palm leaves. And I'll just add quite a few palm leaves in order to demonstrate here for you guys. The more that you watch me paint them, the more that you'll learn. You don't have to paint as many as I have. I would have at least 6 though. I'm going to have it very, very dark in the center where all those palm leaves are just starting to come out from. And then I'll go back and make the tree trunk a little bit thicker as well. But you can see how beautiful this black silhouette looks against that gorgeous colored sky and the water below. So I'll add, yeah, a little bit more thickness to this tree trunk. And then I'm even gonna like just flick down for a little bit of grass, make it look like there's a little island or beach down there. It's gotta make sense. The palm tree's not just floating there, right? It's gotta be part of something. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more to this tree trunk. And then I'm going to start adding another layer of, well, I'm going to add a layer of cadmium red over part of the sky and part of the water. And you'll see how dramatically that changes the look. So right down here, it needs to be a little bit thicker. Okay, now I'm going to take a bit more yellow with a clean brush, of course. I'm going to layer over this again here, and I'm going to add some more to the water. Right down here where I have that white down, I'm going to put a little bit of yellow over it just to make it match the sky and bring in some more warmth. Okay, I'm going to squeeze out my cadmium red now, making sure that the painting is dry. And now I'm going to come over with a clean brush using a larger flat brush for this, and I'm going to pull in that beautiful cadmium red over top of part of this painting. Now I just love the way this looks, and I initially wasn't going to do it at first, but then as I was working on this painting, it kind of just came to me. I thought, well, I wonder what it would look like if, you know, I added another shade of red, like not a neon red, but maybe one of my cad reds, just to see what this would look like and how it would layer. And I was really, really happy with how it came out. Of course, it looks pretty the way it was before, but I really love this intensity that I brought to it by adding that layer of red over. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I'll just dust a little bit over here, but I really want to keep a bit of that blue and green color over off to the right side there. I like the way that looks. It's a nice bit of complementary colors going on, so I'm going to leave that there. Just picking up a little bit of yellow. I had a little water droplet on my painting there, as you can see, and I'm just trying to cover that up. So I'll go in the water here and add a few more streaks of red, and then this painting will be all done. So as I'm adding the last details here, I want to take the time to thank you guys so much again for joining me today. My channel is just about at 20,000 subscribers, and I'm so excited. Thank you all for your support. I want to wish you happy painting. Please like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time very soon in another video. Bye!